Hello, Year 3, and thank you again for joining our next maths lesson this week. Let's start, as always, by sharing the screen so we can work through it together. So today, from the learning intention, you can see we're going to continue with our dividing. This time, we're going to move on to dividing 2 digits by 1 digit. And some of you might be thinking, we've done that before, Mr. Foster, and we have. But today, it's going to be with some remainders, a bit like we did last lesson, so building on that learning. But as a starter, can you, number one, circle the multiples of 10? A multiple of 10 is anything in the 10 times table. Next question, here are 20 cubes. How many groups of 4 are there? So maybe you can start thinking about those groups of 4. How many groups of 3 are there? And how many cubes will be remaining? So that one's a bit of a remainder challenge for us to be thinking about. As always, pause the video there, have a go at those questions, and we'll look at them in just a moment's time. So let's look at those answers to those questions. First one, circle the multiples of 10. Anything that has a 0 in the ones column would usually be a multiple of 10. So 120, 30, and 80 are all multiples of 10. Here are 20 cubes. How many groups of 4 are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 4. That's why I've jotted down number 5 here. And how many groups of 3 would there be? And how many cubes would be remaining? So I regrouped them into groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 3. Now that makes 18, which means there are 2 remaining to make that total of 20 cubes. Well done if you managed to have a go at those, particularly that last one with a remainder, which is a slightly trickier challenge. So let's move on to what we're going to be working on today. And like I said, we're going to be building on that knowledge of dividing with remainders to using larger numbers with 2 digits. So let's look at this first example together. I have 37 sweets and I share them between 3 groups. How many are there in each group? Some of you might be able to have a go at this because it is very similar to what we've done before. And I've given you an example of how it can be laid out. If you want to have a go, pause there. Otherwise, let's work through it together. So I know when I divide, I start with my greatest, my digit of the greatest value, which is my tens. I have 3 tens, so I'm going to share them between the 3 groups. So there's 1 10 in that group, 1 10 in that group, 1 10 in that group. Perfect. They share equally. I don't have any regrouping to do, so I can move on to my ones. Now I've got 7 ones. I can try to share those equally between 3 groups. So 1 in that group, 1 in that group, 1 in that group. There's 1 in each group. I've got some more, so let me carry on. 2 in that group, 2 in that group, 2 in that group. Oh, I've got 1 more. Let me see if I can put it to make it equal. If I put it in that group, it's not going to be equal because this now has 3 ones and these groups only have 2. If I put it in this group now has 3 ones and those groups only have 2. And the same for this group. This group now has 3 and those groups only have 2. So I can't use that one. That one's got to be spare. That one's got to be our remainder. So we should now be able to see our answer. Each group has 1 10, 2 ones, so that's 12, and there is 1 left over. So our answer is 12, remainder 1. Well done if you had a go at that yourself, and particularly well done if you got the same answer as I've just shown you there. Let's have a look at another example together so we can continue to practice this. So what is 25 divided by 2? What is 25 divided by 2? And again, I've got my place value grids. I've split it into 2 groups. Why have I split it into 2 groups here? I've split it into 2 groups because we're dividing by 2. And I've got my place value digits for the number 25. I have 2 10s and 5 1s to make 25. Let's start by sharing those 10s. 1 10 here, oh, it's disappeared. There we go. And another 10 here. Perfect. I've shared my 10s equally. There are no 10s left over, and I can move on to my 1s. Let me start by sharing my 1s. 1 1 here, 1 1 in this group. I've got some more, so let me keep going. 2 1s here, 2 1s in both groups. I have 1 extra. Can I share this into one of these groups and still keep those groups equal? What do you think? If I put it there, I've got 3 ones in this group, but only 2 here. And similarly, if I put it in this group, I've got 3 ones here and only 2 here. So again, I've got to leave that one spare, which now gives me my answer. I have 1 10 and 2 ones, which gives me 12. And I have 1 left over, which gives me a remainder of 1. So same answer as last time. Our answer is 12, remainder 1. Again, well done if you managed to get that answer. Let's look at one more together. And this one's going to be a little bit trickier. Now, this one says 31 divided by 2. Now, because we're dividing by 2, I've split my place value grid into 2 groups. Let me start with my tens. I've got, oh, it's disappeared once again. There we go. 1 10 in that group, 1 10 in this group. I've got 1 10 spare. I can't put that here because it won't be equal. I can't put that here, so it won't be equal. What do I need to do? What can I do with that 10? Well done if you said we can exchange that 1 10 for 10 extra ones. I'm going to do that just now. I've still got my 10s in this grid. I now have 10 extra ones. I had 1 before. If I jump back, I had 1 1. I should now have 11 ones because I have 10 extra. And I can share those between my ones groups. So 1 in each group, 2 in each group, 3 in each group, 4 in each group, 5 in each group. Now I can't put 6 in each group because I've only got 1 left. And if I put that in here, it's going to be unequal. So again, I've got to leave that 1 spare. And that now gives me my answer. I have 1 10 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. So that's 15. And I have 1 left over. So that's 15, remainder 1. Well done if you managed to do that one, and particularly well done if you managed to do the regrouping as well. Now our challenge is going to work a little bit differently today. For your challenge, I want you to have a go at one question, then I'll give you the answer. Then we'll do another question, I'll give you the answer, and a final question, and I'll give you the answer. So this one, 27 divided by 2. Pause the video here, have a go at that one yourself, and we'll look at the answer together in just a moment's time. If you want a bit of help, remember you can draw a place value grid a bit like I've shown you here on the side. Pause the video, have a go. Let's look at that one let me go back. Let's look at that one together. So 27 divided by 2. I start by sharing my 10s, which is 1 10 in each group. I then do my 1s. So if I share those out equally, I have 3 1s in each group, and I've got 1 spare. So my answer would be 23, remainder 1. Well done. Sorry, not 23. Mr. Foster's made a mistake there. I'm sure some of you were shouting at the screen saying, Mr. Foster, that's not correct. It's 1 10 in each group and 3 1, so it's 13, remainder 1. Well done if you managed to get that answer. Next one, 34 divided by 3. Once again, I want you to have a go at this one. I've shown you what the place value grid can look like, and I've shown you what counters I'm going to use to help me. Maybe you can use those to help you as well. Pause the video, have a go, and we'll go through it in a moment's time. Let's look at that one together then. I'm going to start with my 10s. I'm sharing them across those 3 groups. There's 1 10 in each group. Now I do my 1s. 1 1 there, another 1 there, another 1 there, and I have 1 left over. So my answer for this one is 1 10 and 1 1. That makes 11. What's my remainder? I've got 1 left over, so my remainder must be 1. Our answer is 11, remainder 1. Let's look at the final one, 41 divided by 2. Once again, I've drawn a place value grid. I've got my counters ready that you can use to help you. So pause the video there, have a go, and we'll work through it in just a moment. Let's look at that one together then. So let me start with my 10s. I'm sharing my 10s between the 2 groups. There's 1 10 in each group. There's 2 10s in each group. I've got 1 1. If I put that here, is that fair? Is that equal? No, it's not going to be, is it? Because this one has 1, 1, but that one doesn't. If I put it here, is it fair? Is it equal? Again, that one wouldn't be, because I've got a 1 in this group, but not in that. So that one's got to be my remainder. I can't share my 1s. I'm going to leave it spare. So what's my answer for this one? Well, I don't know if you said it's 20, remainder 1. I've got 2 10s and 0 1s, which makes 20. I've got 1 left over, so that makes 20, remainder 1. Well done if you had a go at those challenges today, and particularly well done if you had a go at that last one where we didn't have any 1s to share and it was a bit trickier. To finish with, let's look at our fluency question. I've got a subtraction question today, and I've already laid it out in our column methods. Our question is 435, take away 128. If you want to pause the video there to have a go, please do so now. Otherwise, let's look at it together. Oh, I have one tricky column here. One column that's going to require some regrouping. Can you spot what it is? Well done if you said it's my 1s column. I've got 5 1s and I've got to subtract 8. I can't subtract those 1s yet because I haven't got enough. So I've got to get some more. I go to my 10s column. I take away one of those 10s. I create 10 extra 1s. I now have 15 take away 8s. I can do that, and I know that is equal to 7. I now have 2 10s, and I'm taking away 2 10s. I know 2 take away 2 is going to be equal to 0. And finally, my hundreds. I have 4 hundreds. I'm taking away 1. I know that's going to be equal to 3. My answer is 307. Well done if you got that today. Thank you for joining Year 3. I hope you managed to have a go at some of those division problems today with remainders again. I look forward to joining with you next time. See you.